Very good evening to all the teachers who have joined for this STM capacity building session. We are looking forward to empower you all in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. We are looking forward for innovation, inquiry, and integration part 2. Before we start, we sincerely request you all to kindly maintain muteness in the session so that we can have a smooth transition. Dear teachers, I'm your host, Aarti Bagdegil. I'm AIF resource person and a CBS resource person too. Today we have expert in our session, Ma'am Sapna Sharma. She is founder Chitrani. Ma'am will be sharing valuable insights, some worksheets even with you all to understand this word STEM. Today in this session, we have certain modules with us. The very first is introduction. Of course, whenever we start any session, we should have a curtain raiser. After that, we'll have designing this STEM lesson plan. We have certain worksheets too. And of course, at last, we should go for evaluation and reflection practices, which is the most required one. Now, let's start with what are the different objectives of this program, which we all are doing right now. That is related to enhancement of teachers' competency in STEM education. Every time we listen to this abbreviation STEM, and then we keep on searching and learning. It's a continuous process until and unless we understand the whole term and implement it accordingly in our classrooms. Right now, experiential learning and inquiry-based learning is in the center of STEM. And how you make it across the curriculum of your classroom, of the entire organization with which you are attached and designing it accordingly. It should meet 21st century skills in students too, isn't it? So this is what we are looking forward in this session today. Now my question is, why STEM in schools? How you can relate with this word STEM in schools? What do you feel, teachers? Chat box is all yours. Kindly put it in the chat box. What do you feel? Why we are looking forward for this word STEM in our classrooms? Yes, of course, critical thinking, problem solving skills, building those skills. Of course, when we say any kind of a skill, we should build those skills and inculcation of all the skills among students in our classroom. Innovation is again a very important thing which we are motivating the students for. We are looking forward for the preparation of students for future careers and keeping NEP 2020 in vision. Kindly mute yourself. Holistic development of the child is being supported by STEM in the schools. So in this era where we are looking forward for the holistic development of the child, we personally feel that we should inculcate STEM in schools. So in very simple language, I have elaborated this STEM, why should be in schools. Very interesting classroom management tips for the STEM teachers I have with me. Slowly and gradually, I will put light on all of them. When I say STEM, then I should have customized learning pathways in my classroom. If I am a STEM teacher, customize in the sense that it should be student centric. It should meet the need of the child in your classroom. And for that, what you have to do, you have to develop a culture of curiosity. Sometimes students ask questions and we feel that, okay, I'll give you the answer later on, or you may ask your questions later on. It's okay that we give them answer next day, but we should not stop that mode of asking questions, isn't it? That is what the birth of STEM, curiosity, right? And then looking forward for hands-on learning. Whatever they are doing in the classroom that is not oriented to the traditional learning system where they're just reading and writing. They should touch as well. They should feel as well. They should involved in something which is visible and related to the kinesthetic learning environment. I hope you all are connected with different kind of learners. So yeah, STM is keeping curiosity, customized learning pathways, and kinesthetic learning in the center. Of course, gamification is a technique which makes students feel happy whenever they are indulge in any kind of activity. So you should inculcate some gamification techniques too in your STEM classrooms. When I say technology, it means I should go for those digital tools even in my classroom when I teach them any STM project or I give them opportunity to go for any STM project. Isn't it? It's a need of time. Create those focused cross-disciplinary projects. So for that creation, what we have to do, we have to motivate the children. We have to help them to think accordingly, to go for such independent think, pair, share programs inside the classrooms, not only confined to science, it is confined to technology, IT classroom, mathematics, and so on. And they should understand the routine even. If I say that whatever we are doing in our classroom, in our STM classroom, it is just oriented for 1 week or a month program. No, it's having a clear routine. You cannot say that once in a while we do any one project and then we are gone. Not at all. So make clear expectations, make clear established routines for that. There should be support sessions for the students before we provide them any kind of opportunity to go for any project. And of course, at last we should go for positive reinforcement too. They need reinforcement every time. Supportive language for the students work out. They need supportive language, isn't it? Dear teachers, kindly do not touch my screen. Kindly do not scribble on my screen. Thank you. So these are all important classroom management tips which are meant for STEM teachers, isn't it? And at last, what will happen? Students accountable for their learning, isn't it? They should be accountable. Whatever they are learning, they are implementing it in their real life application based situations. And this is what we really want. And that is why we are discussing this session today. Can you see how organized it is? Everything is organized in your STEM labs, where you are giving opportunity to the students to perform their innovative tasks. At the same time, they are picking up their Legos, their filters, their cards and dominoes, etc., which is all involved in the resource kit for performing these STM projects, and they are independently with curiosity doing their task, isn't it? So this is a clear setup with minimum resources, I must say, is visible on the screen, and it will give you an idea that how it basically goes. Next, I feel there are certain key components which are to be discussed in this whole session today. That is, conceptual understanding of STM. So as you can clearly see in this picture, that hands-on experiments and designing the challenges is part of your STEM core classroom program, isn't it? And keeping the technology in the center. There are certain strategies too, which our expert will share with you soon in the upcoming slides. Now, what I feel that whatever the STEM based activities you perform in your classroom, that should have a routine. It means a weekly routine should be there. You cannot skip that. You should have certain interdisciplinary projects which are meant for learning. You should have STM corners, the one which I had shown you earlier. And after that, we will give opportunity to the students to exhibit whatever they have done eventually, because you have to give appreciation to the students whatever they have performed in those classrooms, in those STEM based classes. They have to show their work, isn't it? So this is how you beautifully make children understand that how it goes, right? Now I'm going to invite Ma'am Sapna for taking the session further on hands-on workshop activities, basically, right? So, ma'am, uh, I just request you to kindly take the session further.
Hi,
Yes.
good evening. Good evening, all. Thanks, ma'am, for the introduction about the STEM. You have basically included all the points. So, I will be elaborating the points further. Uh, Ma'am,
Great.
can I please share the PPT?
Just a moment, ma'am. Give me the opportunity.
Yeah, sure.
You want it from the beginning, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, this is the third one. I want from the first one. Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Okay, as the ma'am says, what about the STEM? STEM, we all know by now it is a interdisciplinary of science, technology, engineering, and maths. But we always misconfuse between why we want to integrate all these subjects, right? So, as we all know, even the CBSC in the CBSC has introduced the CT for everyone, right? So, basically, STEM is you're shaping the future of the learning. It is not just a set of subject. It is actually the framework that help you in thinking, questioning, and solving the problem. We always say we should ask the question, but how to ask the question? How to recognize the patterns? How to observe the things? That is very important. There we say कि we have to actually cultivate the habit of critical thinking in the students, in the kids. कि whenever they saw something, they
Ma'am, you are not audible. Kindly be audible.
yeah, yeah. Sorry, ma'am. I was not audible from the starting, ma'am.
No, you were audible, ma'am.
Yeah, okay, sorry. I think by mistake, I just click on the mute button. Uh, Ma'am, just full screen this one.
Is it visible to you now?
Ma'am, it's not a full screen.
Is it fine?
No, I cannot see my screen. Again,
Any
it's coming.
participant who may volunteer? Any participant who may volunteer, whether the screen is
Yeah,
visible
yeah,
or
yeah, yeah. Now I can see, ma'am.
okay.
Okay, okay. So the now the very first point is Tempest is a mindset, as I'm saying. It's a mindset. We have to cultivate a mind for asking the questions, right? It's not just the subject. I'm not teaching them science or I'm not teaching them physics, chemistry, maths, right? So we cannot call it as a subject. We are creating the minds, a minds who can think, a minds who can ask question, a minds who can discover the new things, the new ideas, right? So if I give you a real time example, like when engineers at a SpaceX design a rocket, right? They are not working from a single textbook, right? They are combining the physics, the programming, the material science, and the math simultaneously so that they can reach the solution. Exactly the kind of cross disciplinary thinking STEM builds from day one. We cannot say, I am learning this subject right now, I will learn the other subjects the other day. Right? It is integrated, and we have to build that capability of thinking and integrating the subjects together. Right? So, and the other point, as the ma'am already said, ki curiosity. We have to build up because we can only ask question if we are building a curiosity. We can come to the new ideas if we are very curious to know why it is happening. Okay, why it is running, what will happen if I will do that. So these all questions come from the, if you are feeling very matlab, if you are curious to know the things, why it is happening, why it is running, why it is working, that questions build the curiosity, and then the curiosity is again a mindset. Not every kid will ask you in a classroom, not everyone asks why it is happening, but there can be a one kid pinpointing why it is happening, what will happen. We have to actually encourage those students for asking more question to build the curiosity. Okay, so curiosity is an engine of the STEM training. When a student asks, why does my phone get warm when charging, right? So that a STEM curiosity in action, right? It is a mindset. Okay, I am working with the phone. Why it is warming? And then a student can see and visualize or observe, okay, when I am putting it on a charging, it get warms. When I'm removing it from the charging, it get colds. So these actually generate different questions, and the question leads to different ideas. The ideas lead to the solutions, right? So action, like companies like Samsung invest billions of money on the battery R&D so that the mobile should not get warm, and they come up with so many ideas, then ultimately they get the answers to it. So curiosity is an engine. You have to build that mindset. Just say I said earlier, STEM is a mindset, it's not a subject. You have to build the mind for asking question, building a curiosity. right? So next was analytical skills, build STEM classroom, translate directly to the real careers. Like when we go, there are many questions I have always listened ki I am learning physics, I am doing maths. In maths, I am learning trigonometry. Where I am going to learn it in the real world, where I am going to use the trigonometry, because they don't know, because they are learning as a subject. They don't know where to use it. So STEM is basically where you are using it in a real environment, right? So STEM teaches collaboration as much as content, STEM and conceptual thinking. Use this point. Now we will be using a point to understand how to make a bridge. Like the best way to understand STEM is to experience it, not just study it. So the next is the straw bridge experiment. Ma'am, next slide. So this is, I am just putting a example if we are teaching how to make a bridge to the students, and this experiment you can start from the primary section. As the section increases, just the complexity of the you can say the complexity of how it is actually working, or the scientifical name changes, but the how it works remain the same, right? The force is a force, it is pull and push. But as we go to the higher standards like 9, 8, we go into the complexity of the force. But yes, we can start telling them the concept, how it works from the primary section itself. We should not wait ki when the student will, because you can just create the mindset of a young students, the young people. You cannot change the mindset of how to think of a older one. So it should start right from the beginning of the school. Key, because you are building their mind, there you are building how to observe things, there you are building how to see the patterns, right? So this is one example I have taken, the straw bridge experiment. Now the challenge is build a bridge. Now as a teacher, I will just give them the material. Like I will just give them the straws, I will give them the tape, and I will give them something to make a pillar. And I will just start. I will not come to the answer, right? I will ask them, make a bridge. Let them make the bridge. Don't tell anything. Let them come to the conclusion. They can apply anything, whatever they think, right? So we are providing with the material. The plan is sketch your top two bridge design. Decide how to build the cup into the structure. Cup is, we have made one bridge with the help of a cup. I can make with the other shapes, in which we can also tell which shape will give the more strength. They will we can ask them to observe key the bridge, the pillars of the bridge are of which shape, right? The buildings are of which shape. That will actually, they will come to know that which shape gives the more strength, right? Uske baad place the bridge on support. These are the steps of the experiment. Ki make the bridge, put some weight on it, see the strength. If it fails, find the reason why it fails, then do it again. Then see whether which you are missing the in the earlier. Now the strength is there. If not, again go and find the problem to it, come to the conclusion. So the science of the bridges, basically it is a gravity. So we want to tell them ki what gravity is. Maybe at a younger age, we will not use the complex name. Gradually, we will start adding the scientifical name, right? But we are telling them the concept ki the bridge, how the gravity is a, we can use the, like the ma'am says in a the STEM lab, we can also use the STEM vocabulary boards, right? where we can put the new scientific words or new words on the board which we are going to learn today. So then we tell them what is the science behind, why it works. So STEM basically works on why and not on what. Okay, so we have to shift the mind from what to why. So now the force at applies gravity. Gravity will pull everything down. Okay, comparison, top chords, beer weight. Matlab, this is a experiment, right? And it is easily done with the straws, and you don't have to spend more time, more money. Easily you can get this material at everybody's home. So now the tension you can, matlab, these are all the standards one, right? The tension on the maybe at the 8th standard or 9th standard, you can just use the vocabulary name tension. Though the idea behind is ki we are starting and we are making their mind to think scientifically, to see everything by the eyes of a science. Ki why it is working, what will happen if I will do this. So there are so many experiments with which we can build their mindset. Like, so sabse pehle, so the first step is we have to plan. Every we will tell them to plan how you will make the bridge, what shape you want of a bridge, right? What you think the bridge will look like. The second, whatever I have planned on a paper, I will start building it. The third one is test. I will test putting a pennies or a pen or anything on it to see the strength of the bridge, right? And then the fourth point is I am going to analyze it. Okay, what I have planned, is it right? Or I fail. If I fail, I will go back to the plan and I will see where I am lacking. Okay, so STEM is all about, again, I will say the STEM is all about a mindset, building a mindset of a kid. Because if you are not going to build a mindset, okay, then it is just a subject. I am teaching only about a subject. But STEM is not about a subject. It is to build a critical thinking. It is to build about a scientifical mind so that they can see the things differently. So these are some of the worksheet which we have developed according to their age. They are from, we have made for the primary section from first standard to fifth standard. And we have also made for the middle school from sixth standard to eighth standard as of now. So our main motto is from, we have to develop a kid from receptor to observer. They should start observing the surroundings, right? And then from observer to learner. What they are observing, they should learn from it. And what they have learned, they should start thinking. And from thinker to actually making the thing. Okay, from thinker to enabler. So I will just give you the glimpse of the worksheet.
Uh,
Ma'am, the other one.
yes. So, dear participants, as we are having lack of time, we shall be giving you the opportunity to go through the worksheets. Uh, I have shared the connect in the chat box to get the worksheets. We will be connecting you to ma'am as well to go for the the content if you are interested in further taking it into your classroom, right, ma'am? So kindly drop
Yeah,
your
sure, ma'am.
email address as well in the chat box so that the
Yeah,
participants may connect with you. Dear
sure,
participants,
ma'am.
I believe this session has empowered you all, and the very interesting content which ma'am has shared related to the planning and making the things hands on, then finally testing and implementing it into the classroom will definitely make you practically connected with the things. So dear uh, participants, please note the email address which is dropped by ma'am in chat box. Dear teachers, kindly do not drop your email addresses in the chat box. It is only ma'am's email address which is to be dropped. That is Sapna Sharma Bhagwat at gmail.com, where you can easily connect with ma'am for worksheets. Even my number, my connect is there in the chat box for the sample of worksheets and certificate link too. So now with this, we are going to finish this session. Thank you so much, Sapna ma'am, for sharing the valuable insights. And I believe the participants will definitely try to implement this STM in a better way in the classroom.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for inviting.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Okay. So thank you all the participants for joining, and check the chat box for all the important links.